what is up? This is my second time making a video like this. Immediate clap is because my character is currently named, well, is at the time of this video named Rivers are Bad, which is sort of a deliberate Salt Factory move. Yeah, anytime I spawn in, somebody's using Rivers of Blood, it makes it, I don't know, it definitely triggers people, so people get tilted. Sorry, right there you just saw me realize that the Phantom actually does damage like that, their shit can hurt me, which is always fun. When you start an invasion, you figure out, okay, can this Phantom hurt me? My god, I'm not even timing those rolls. I'm just mashing circle. Let's see, I opened with this video to say that when people use quote overpowered shit, here you see me very painfully slowly swap to the Dagger Talisman, which changes my color, to the Shield with Bleed Resist, and to a Dagger, and this guy still runs up and just corpse pilers in my face. When you see Rivers of Blood, when you see Moonveil, it's not even about like, oh, you're a good player. If you beat it, you're a bad player. If you lose, it's just that it's too simple, right? Okay, I'm showing the build here. Oh, I didn't show it for long enough. Pause if you want to see more about the build. It is a vigor build. It's basically just what's the most health you can have at level 55 while wearing enough armor to get you to 61 poise so I can ignore little shit. Okay, now I'm showing this fight because this fight is the single most fun I have had playing Elden Ring in a long time. Couple favorite things about the fight. Okay, so a host is a guy off to the side. This Phantom and I don't fight. I try and get him, and the host gets me with a backstab here because I take my eyes off him, so I take damage from that, and that's when I realized, like, oh, this is not some dumb host, which had been my assumption. This guy sort of knows what's up. Now, of course, I don't love that the Phantom's coming in with the, you know, the flies. The flies. Always the flies. But this host is having a ton of fun. He's using Command Standard, right? He's got a parrying dagger, and that's the second parry he's tried to get off against me, and spoiler alert, at some point in this video, he's going to succeed. My setup here is that I'm using, I normally dual wield rapiers. In this one, I swapped out my right hand rapier for a poison Warhawk's Talon. My thinking being the R2 of the Warhawk's Talon has a multi-hit. It's like the, oh, he got me with the fucking Shad parrying dagger. Oh my god, who does that? It's incredible. This guy doesn't give a fuck if he loses. This is so great. Anyway, so the Warhawk's Talon will proc poison if you, or sorry, will register multi-hit on the R2 even if you don't charge it up. The second follow-up R2, you do have to charge for it to be multi-hit, but that first one is just, you know, you see it there, getting the host. And my thought was that that would make it synergize pretty well with poison or really any status build-up, and I like poison because in just a second in the video I'm going to talk about what's called passive pressure and applying a toast. Ooh, cheeky little jump over there. I thought I won it here. I'm so glad I didn't like gesture goodbye or something, because Jesus, he must have had like 4 HP left. But the, oh, here you see me go to online ID, because after this fight, I literally sent him a message like, you were so fun to fight. Thank you for being fun to fight. You know, people share their hate mail, but love mail's dope. You know, if you enjoy fighting against somebody, let them know. The problem with the Warhawk's Talon is that it does not do damage. Unfortunate little skippy moment there. You know, not the best Wi-Fi, but, oh, Jesus, that guy's a heart of a champion. He did great. Love to see a parrying dagger, you know, with somebody who actually knows how to do it, and in the right hand too. Who does that? That's incredible. I wanted to put that invasion up next to this one, right? Because that's a good example of somebody who knows how to play the game. They've been playing with the Phantom. Obviously, they're like clearing the game or whatever, but they're not afraid to engage with the mechanics. This guy does not know what the fuck is happening in this game. He's got the brass shield, so you have to farm that shield from the gate guys. He's got 400 health, where in Kaled, I am level 55, so he has to be level like 51 or higher. He's probably level 60. Where the fuck are your stats? What'd you do? I clipped these videos down too aggressively. Alright, that last fight was no fun. It was no fun because fights aren't fun when they don't last long, and I directly blame Phantoms carrying hosts through the game for causing that. In this invasion, I clipped it as a way to talk about, I don't know if there's an extant term for it. Like, I was gonna go with power throttling. What do you call it when you're doing an invasion and it could be sweaty or could be not, and you're trying to decide whether or not to be sweaty based on what you see out of the people clearing it. Like, so this Moonveil, guy, no. I'm gonna be super. You see the Anspur Rapier's out. I did a soft swap to a fucking electric dagger. Like, no, what's the meme? This guy gets no respect. The salty teabag. The salty teabag is because these fucking Katana Phantoms are like conservative jokesters, right? But instead of only having one joke, they just have the one button. They know L2. That Phantom knew L2. And then R2, or R1, I guess, for whichever transient Moonlight was coming out. I haven't used it forever. But so after those Phantoms are dead, and I stop fat rolling, Jesus Christ, you see the Bloodhound's Fang come out. One of my favorite things to do in low-level invasions is you'll frequently find the host with Bloodhound Fang out, right? Because that is sort of your early game clearing. You get it right at the start. Easy to find, insanely easy to upgrade. First time I played, my first playthrough of Elden Ring, I used Bloodhound's Fang until, I cleared the game with it. And so it's kind of a favorite of mine to, you see a host using it, you pull it out too. And it's like, hey, I can do that as well. Which works for this build really well because Bloodhound Fang gets shit zillion damage out of weapon upgrades and not that much out of scaling until higher levels, which is great because you'll see my strength and dex are like, you can go back to that part of the video, they're like 20 apiece, right? This is a you can't kill me build. This is even with the Source Seal at level 55 it's worth it. It's fine. It also gets me to the break point of a bunch of different weapons. I would need to be like level 70 to make it and still use all the weapons that I do. Otherwise, in earlier I had mentioned the idea of passive pressure. So many invasions. If you were playing Bloodborne PvP, back in the day, those invasions would often start. You boot up the game and you load into somebody else's world and you spend 2 minutes jumping around while they waste all their fucking bullets. Just pew 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 pew, right? And then eventually you get to play the game, and you get to play the game once they're done. Just L2, or whichever button was shoot gun. I think it's L2. It's been a second since I played Bloodborne. Funny little bit of resonance, because in this game, people are crazy about L2. Oh, they'll stand back and just press L2 until the cows come home, and you just kind of have to wait. And when I started playing, I was like, oh, who likes waiting? Okay, salty clap there, because you cleared the game. You should know how to relieve pressure. Whatever. Normally I'd swap, here you're going to see a swap to the Blood S-Stock. You don't lose that much damage. You don't lose that much damage on the S-Stock at my stat level, which is what, plus 12 regular, plus 6 somber, plus 5 somber, plus 12 regular. You don't lose that much damage going to Blood, but you get burst damage, and that's always nice. So I'll spawn in with the Anspur Rapier, which is, you know, that is my way of doing passive pressure. Passive pressure meaning there's two of you and I know for a fact that there's just the one of me. So how am I going to make it so that both of you guys have to do some shit at the same time? Do not go to low level, like level 20, level 30. Don't go to level 40 hosts with a fucking Anspur rapier, because Scarlet Rot, you know, the boluses are, for some reason a limited consumable item or whatever. Oh, cheeky spin. You'll see why I put that in just a second. I did not respect this. I was, you know, I was in and out, like not really giving shit about their damage. Anyway, don't use it. Don't go in with the Anspur rapier. It's gross. It's bad. Don't do that. But when you're at this level, and you're invading, you need some way to make everybody give a shit about you. And people do that through different ways. People can do that through Black Flame Tornado. You'll see I do it also through Storm Stomp, because I use dual rapiers. So anybody with just like anyone who has just like a half turd of poise hanging out of their butthole, you know, they're not going to be bothered by the rapiers. So the Storm Stomp is there to deal with those guys. All right. He's got dual status weapons. I got dual status weapons. I am taking them serious. I'm not removing the Anspur rapier. And I lose this invasion. And I lose it in like, it's in the next 5 seconds where I just don't back up. I should have just backed up and kept space and waited for them not to be all bunched up together, because they both have long, look at that. See, now they're on either side of me and they just get fucking blendered to death. Ugh, gross. Gross for me. Like that's on me. And they're not gankers, right? Not everybody who you don't like is a ganker. Anyway, this passive pressure thing has become really important to understanding Elden Ring specifically as distinct from like Dark Souls 3, which is, I would say, the game I have the second most invasions in. Because I can't remember if I swapped right from the Anspur here, but I definitely tried to give this, yeah. Do I? Let's see, Jack. What'd you do? I went to Bloodhound. All right, that's fun. I'm trying to give this Blue his day in court or whatever, and you'll see he very quickly shows he doesn't deserve it. In Elden Ring, it's always stacked against you. And so you've kind of got two options. One is, and you see this a lot, people go like, well, the game has, fat rolling, yeah, I hate to see it. He was probably rune-arced in his own world. That's, people are always like, oh, Phantom doesn't know how to play the game. And, you know, back in, you know, earlier Dark Souls titles, that may have been the case. But in this one, it's that, you know, people are often rune-arced in their own world, and if Blue gets summoned in, and they lose that 5 endurance, like, look at that, I'm fat rolling, because I wasn't careful about my equip load, like, whatever. Okay, so the Blue decides, like, fuck this, I'm not winning without the host, and just runs forever. Very annoying. Like, you don't, as Blue, you don't lose your souls. You don't lose anything. Just stick around. Just, you don't want to fight? Oh, I'm fat rolling? Stick around, get killed. You'll be back in your world. This isn't hard. Kind of annoying. Which is why you saw me swap back to the Anspur, because I'm like, fuck this guy. Like, it's just wasting my time. So some people will go like, you know, the nature of invasion's so catastrophically balanced against the invader unless it's specific, low-level contexts. Salty little point down here. This is because you know, I fast-forwarded it 11 times the regular speed. But it was like 3 minutes. Not 3 minutes, but it genuinely was like 2 minutes that I had to go spend finding him. Anyway, I run over here, find the host. This is a fun fight. I'm gonna keep talking about passive pressure. And so people will say like, oh, you have to then, oh, I'm gonna use, right, this was the Dark Souls 3 thing. Oh, gankers keep ganking me, so now I'm gonna use some Murky Insight. I'm gonna use all the broken shit in order to win. And so people do that with, you know, oh, I've adopted like the double bleed curve swords, right? And you seppuku it, and then you run up and you just murder everybody in 2 hits. And it's like, that's not really a game. It's fun. You're allowed to have fun, however you have fun. I find that zero fun. And so there's got to be a way of taking on multiple people that does not require you to just delete them in one hit. And in my experience, status objects in this game have that effect, right? Where you can actually, God, these guys rule. Fist weapons. Building up one tick of bleed every couple seconds. That's why I switched to the Bloodhound here, is because it's just honest as hell. And also at some point I realized that just having, oh, this is great. This is actually something I've learned recently. These guys are being super aggressive. I heal, they're punishing my heals, they're going back and forth. If this guy used his scythe weapon art, I would be fucked. I need to attack, and I win. Maybe that goes against the spirit of like pressing the delete key that I mentioned a second ago, but you know, just in terms of relieving pressure, that's something I had to really grow on since starting this game. Is I was never going to outrun those guys on my own, but you know, sometimes you attack back and then you're good. All right, this is the last one. Shorter video this time. What's this video proving? When you So the two things I've mentioned have been passive pressure, which is, you know, using shit like poison, scarlet rot, though not rot breath, because don't be gross, poison, scarlet rot, the tools at your disposal to make people contend with you, so that one of you fighting two of them is still fair without simply pressing the delete key against them. But the other thing I mentioned, right, that is important and that I'm sort of developing in the course of Elden Ring plays, is making it so that you don't just delete this guy. Like, this guy's gonna get deleted if I pull out the bleed weapon. It's gonna take 35 seconds, right? I see that with the bleed proc there, and Storm Stomp into double is gonna bleed him out like right away. So I jump right, and I do Bloodhound Fang, which is not going to delete him. Even the weapon art should probably not delete him. He's using it. I'm using it. The idea here is we're gonna have a fair fight, and in my mind that encourages people to engage with the core mechanics of the game, right? In Elden Ring, we were struggling to get people to engage with the core mechanics of the game instead of just download the goddamn PC mod. I play on PS5, it doesn't affect me. That man did not engage with the mechanics of the game, so rip. But yeah, those are two things I've been working on, and I hope they mean something to you too. Bye.